And welcome to your LSU football fix. This is Preston Guy with TigerBait.com. We're doing LSU's National Signing Day preview. Tonight's show, of course, is presented by Tramonte's Meat and Seafood. They still have plenty of this good Heaven's Door single barrel staff select bourbon whiskey available in their shop right at the corner of Airline and Jefferson Drive, a little down Jefferson, right behind Parkview Baptist. There it is, Tramonte's Meat and Seafood. All sorts of good meats, 30 kinds of meat and sausage, custom good Cajun cooking. Of course, we've got the LSU basketball game on, so if you enjoy tonight's show, make sure to share later on so people can watch the replay. We've got a very exciting show for y'all tonight. We're going to break down LSU's got a big day. This is going to be one of the biggest February signing days we've seen in quite a while from LSU. LSU had a huge recruiting weekend that featured some of the best names available in the country, with Harold Perkins, Jacoby Mathews, Danny Lewis popping in. I'm going to bring on LSU current commit Laterrance Welch, 4-star DB out of Acadiana. I'm interested to hear from him how this weekend went. Quite frankly, it was a lot of big names, and he's been one of the more vocal cheerleaders, quite frankly, in this class, getting guys in, and he's been on board for a long time. He's one of the guys who's grown up an LSU fan. I'm interested to hear from him how hard he's been pushing these guys to come to LSU and what his gut tells him. Mark Cumbie with the score update there. LSU 2, Ole Miss 4. Gosh darn it. So y'all, if you could give me some score updates as we go. This is one of the unfortunate predicaments of having to go up against the LSU basketball game and this show's schedule and deciding whether or not I want to bump it around to accommodate the basketball, let people watch the replay, or maybe people watch both. So we'll see. Ooh, and Mark Cumbie with a good update. Pinson is playing. So that makes me feel a lot more confident. Tomorrow is going to be a big day for LSU with lots of big names. There's six. Hey, you got an app, bro? I'm gonna have to see about that. Anyways, there's 6 major names I'll be watching. Of course, there could be a surprise, but we'll see. Richie Evans, good meat ain't cheap, cheap meat ain't good. I appreciate that y'all have memorized the sponsor slogans, and perhaps with NIL more appropriately, good recruits ain't cheap, cheap recruits ain't good. So, gonna break down those 6 guys and tell you where we stand, how their visits went, that kind of good stuff. But let me tell you, tomorrow's going to be a big day at TigerBait.com. We have live text alerts. Mike Scarborough is going to be working them. Mike's not doing a show tonight. His laptop died on him, went completely kaplooey. It looks like he's going to be able to get it up and running. However, he wasn't able to get the part in today. He had to order a special expensive part. So he actually went out to Best Buy tonight and got him a nice little Asus laptop just to write up all his updates, because we've got tons of stuff. We've talked about it ad nauseum. And we're going to tell you the names to watch. He's going to have a huge war room coming later tonight for premium TigerBait subscribers. Text alerts, which are, of course, free for people who subscribe for them on the site, free for subscribers. And you might want to sign up for our newsletter, which is free for everyone, because we'll have a good recap there afterward, talking about what's going on. So y'all make sure to go check out TigerBait.com tomorrow for all of these recruiting updates. Do me a favor, hit the like button on this video, and if you're on Facebook or whatever, hit the share to whatever groups you want, because more the merrier. And when we're up against Will Wade and company, the general, he likes to pull some audience. So whatever y'all can do to help the algorithm gods get more people up in here, I would appreciate it greatly, as would my sponsor, Tramonte's Meat and Seafood, who I'm going to thank real quick for making everything we've done this year possible. and I'm hoping going forward as well. Of course, Dead Soxy too. Remember, y'all, they're always right there, corner of Airline and Jefferson. I promise you, one of the things we do with our sponsors here at TigerBait.com, we are a little more exclusive. We take on companies we know, we trust, we endorse. We wouldn't go there. We wouldn't shop there if they weren't sponsoring the show. Like these are all brands we've been a part of and spent our own money at. So Tramonte's is certainly one of them. Best steak in town. Had a really good filet this weekend from there, and the ribeye rolls were fantastic. So we're going to hear from them real quick, and then I'm going to go into my breakdown. If you have any questions you want me to get to tonight, go ahead and get them. Oh, and look, RIP to Mike Scarborough. Laptop, had to drop and buy a new one. If you want to drop a super chat for the Mike Scarborough Laptop Fund, it'd be greatly appreciated. It'd be especially greatly appreciated tonight for your little locally owned TigerBait.com.
Tramonte's has meat. Tramonte's has seafood. Tramonte's has much more. Tailgating and homegating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tramontes.com.
That little Italian music just gets me in the jab. All right. The Pooh Bear with an inside joke. It's kind of an inside joke. All this comes from public forums. So I do Twitter Spaces with my buddy Blake Ruffino over at RU Serious Sports. And Pooh Bear's always up in them. My wife popped in one time and asked everybody if they would do a GoFundMe to go send us to watch Joe Burrow in the Super Bowl. By the way, this was before Joe Burrow was going to the Super Bowl. She had that much faith in him. And I remember, so we had Pooh Bear in there, and Blake Ruffino was calling him Pooh Bear. So she asked me later that night, why does Blake call his wife Pooh Bear? And y'all, I lost it. Of course, this is the Pooh Bear here. I texted that to Blake, and his wife saw the text and asked him, whoa, who's Pooh Bear? It was a funny train of events. Appreciate the reference there, Pooh Bear. But no, it's not going yet. We'll see. Better than the Mike Scarborough Laptop Fund, that's for sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive into some recruits and see how give you the little down low on each of them. And here it is, right on time. LSU fan 05. Who we getting tomorrow? Okay. First up, Danny Lewis. Tight end. Some people have him 4. Some people have him 3-star. Tight ends are a little weird evaluating. He's a quality player, that's for sure. Danny Lewis from Westgate, Louisiana kid. Probably a good bet that he grew up rooting for LSU and's got a lot of LSU people pushing him all around him, but he's got plenty of offers, including Bama, who he visited Bama recently. Notably, his father did not go with him on that visit. I don't know how much I read into that, but it's notable nonetheless. He visited LSU this week before the weekend. It was like a Wednesday, Thursday ordeal. He, of course, had the viral video of him up on the stand dancing around with Brian Kelly, which, by the way, I'm 1,000% asking LeTerrence Welsh about that. What the recruits actually are thinking of when they sat. So I have a good feeling he'll be announcing at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Got a very good feeling. I think LSU's in a good spot with Danny Lewis. That's one I'm surprised if he doesn't end up putting on the hat for the good guys. Harvey Sharp, I think we got a Facebook star from him. That's, of course, the only notification I get from that. Harvey, thank you for supporting the show tonight, bud. Drop a comment, and I'll make sure to feature your comment. Esteban, go Tigers. Go Tigers, Esteban. All right, so next up, got 3-star receiver Caleb Douglas, who, of course, Brian Kelly kind of did an in-home visit. I don't want to say out of nowhere, but it was a little bit unexpected about 2 weeks ago. And he'll be deciding between LSU and Florida at about 1:20 tomorrow. By the way, get used to hearing exactly what I just said, choosing between LSU and Florida, because both of them bringing in new coaches, and there were plenty of spots in their classes for each of them. So they're both going to bat for all the best of what's left. Because they both had a ton of spots. Now, of course, LSU's only down to 7 spots, and I've got 6 names I'm tracking. Unless you go 6 for 6, you're going to have a few spots left over, but that's not to be surprised. I expect LSU will have about somewhere 2 to 4 open spots after signing day, but that's probably where they want to be, because they want those spring battles, those position battles in spring that didn't go the way one player wanted, who then chooses to transfer. Well, they want those guys to come in for quality depth. So we shall see about that. Derek Cooper asks how I feel about Shelton Sampson for next year. First off, I feel he's a really good player. He's, of course, talking about the 5-star wide receiver out of Catholic High. I kind of look at him as a must-get type prospect. He reminds me a lot of a Terrence Tolliver, just that real long build, very fast. By all accounts, LSU's in good standing with him, and good thing LSU's got all their coaching staff and stuff in place for him now. He's going to be one of the number one priorities, if not the number one. I'd have trouble thinking of a higher priority, but y'all, 2023 is a loaded year in Louisiana, absolutely loaded. And it's not just Arch Manning. It's not just Shelton Sampson. There are plenty of players across the state in 2023. Go get them, Ryan Kelly. Go earn that $100 million contract. Esteban, I want 2 open spots for after spring, before summer. Esteban, that's more or less where I'm at, and I agree. All right, Blaine Smith, give me your 3 most likely to sign. 3 most likely. Well, that leads me to my next prospect I'll break down, because I think these will round out the top 3 most likely. Look, yeah, he's getting greedy in live time here. He's increasing the fold here. Jaelyn Davis-Robinson is a 4-star cornerback out of Texas. LSU's been recruiting him pretty hard, especially here as of late. And I feel pretty good about LSU's standing with him. Some people have him as 3-star, so he's kind of in that fringe area. His final 4 are Oregon, Boston College, Wyoming, and LSU. And Jesus, read the scoreboard from Mark Cumby. Good Lord, what are we doing, Will Wade? Come on, General. You know, if the basketball team, instead of going down by like double digits early before their furious rally late in every game, like what if they just played like that furious rally that they do late game every time, the whole game? They'd be pretty darn good, wouldn't they? And now it's 17-6. Why are they so bad all of a sudden? Jesse, look, man, that's why I like to do the football fix. I'm not the best X's and O's basketball guy, but looks like there's a number of problems, and Xavier Pinson was a part of that, although he's back tonight. My question is he 100%? I'm, of course, doing this show and not really. I've got the basketball game on over there, but I'm not able to really watch in depth. So my point is, Jaelyn Davis-Robinson, of course, I have trouble believing that if LSU's really pushing hard, that especially Boston College and Wyoming actually beat out LSU for him if LSU's given a full court press. Oregon's one that could give you a run for your money. I just think LSU's a bigger brand name team. It's the DBU moniker for a defensive back. And then the availability that appears to be at LSU for young players to come out and play at the defensive back position. There's a lot of writing on the wall, not to mention the geographical advantage of LSU for him versus, I mean, think about what's the next closest school for this kid? Wyoming? I mean, Oregon's got to be 2,000-3,000 miles away. Boston College, you got to go to the I mean, you got the West Coast, the East Coast, and BFE Midwest, man. So I guess Wyoming would be the next close. Here's my thought. I think most likely, I feel best about Caleb Douglas, Jaelyn Davis-Robinson, and Danny Lewis if LSU truly is putting the full court press on all those kids. So there's your answer for top 3. Let's see here. Will Wade has no plan B. Man, we'll see. Look, I will say this about Will Wade. I'm enjoying the longest period of sustained success that I've ever seen as an LSU basketball fan. Let's see here. Rest in peace, computer. Enjoy the show. Thank you, Richie. I will pass your condolences on to Michael Scarborough, who had an unfortunate catastrophe with his laptop tonight. Brian Kelly gonna dance his way to a natty. Hey, look, that's one of the things I want to ask. Like, what do you actually think of as a recruit? I'm gonna ask LeTerrence Welsh here in just a bit. Okay, and LSU fan with another timely response here. But before I get into that, I am gonna thank my sponsor, who's got a very special for you. Dead Soxy. They've been one of a very supportive sponsor for Valentine's Day, because we all know we're in love with Joe Burrow and what he's doing, taking the Cincinnati Bengals to the Super Bowl. They, of course, have their Joey B socks available on the site. Use the link in the link is in the description of this video. They've increased the discount amount for the code TigerBait to 30% if you get it before the 14th. And that's on anything, not just the LSU socks. You use that code, 30% off site wide. So y'all go check out Dead Soxy. Nothing says I love you like some good socks. So y'all make sure to pop out some Dead Soxy socks. Support our sponsors, y'all. Of course, I show everybody, just the quality of these socks. They're very thick, warm, cushioned. They've got the little glue drops. That's what I'm going to call them, because that's what they look like almost like hot glue drops. But I'm sure there's something more scientific. The threading on the inside, but not the outside. Very soft, very comfortable. Again, another quality product that I wear them all the time, y'all. They're really good. Look, and here it is. Awesome socks. Thank you for supporting that. Richie, did you get some socks? Follow up with another comment. Did you get some? Because I want to hear. Long sustained success, John Marion. Okay. Wasn't expecting to go in depth. So LSU is on its 4th season in a row, unless this season just goes and tanks and bottoms out. I expect this will be LSU's 4th season in a row where they would have finished the regular season with a resume fit for the NCAA tournament. Of course, there's some asterisks in there because it was canceled in 2020, but y'all, you have to go back to the 80s and 90s for the last streak where LSU had 4 consecutive NCAA tournament seasons. For me, that is the bar for the LSU basketball program, is make the tournament every year. Not to mention, although Wade was suspended for it, there was a Sweet 16 run in there. So for me, I've never seen the basketball team play this consistent for 4 years straight. I've never seen it. So, and he's recruiting well. Richie ever follow up with 2 pair. I like his overall body work. I don't think that means that he should be free of criticism. That's not what I'm saying, but I do like the sustained success. Ooh, 22-10. Ouch. All right. So we'll go back to the recruit breakdown. I've got Laterrance getting ready to head up in here in just a few minutes, so y'all make sure to don't go anywhere. By the way, if you hit like the video, YouTube, all that good stuff, Mike Scarborough makes fun of me for getting more likes every single week. So someone hit like on this to show that you appreciate the work of the LSU Football Fix, and hit that share button if you want Laterrance to get some support. I'm sure he would appreciate having plenty of fans in here. Let's see here. Harold Perkins. That is the big name. Harold Perkins is, I consider him the best player in the country. Many people, I mean, he's number one linebacker in the country. He was committed to Texas A&M. He recently decommitted to Texas A&M. The scuttlebutt around it was that Florida had convinced him to decommit. And of course, Florida got a visit from him and Jacoby Mathews. He and Jacoby Mathews are very close. It is said that Billy Napier has put on a clinic and recruited him very well. But this weekend went very well, and Brian Kelly has come in and recruited him consistently and put up a very good effort. He'll be deciding tomorrow between LSU, Florida, and A&M at 2:15 p.m. LSU is a very real threat to land Harold Perkins. I would not bet against LSU. I might even go as far to say LSU might be a ever so slight favorite for Harold Perkins. Again, though, it's one of those situations where if it's LSU versus the field, you take the field and it's really not close. But I do like LSU's chances because Jacoby Mathews is allegedly pretty close with Harold Perkins. There's been some scuttlebutt that they are a package deal, although we've seen players come out and publicly say, yeah, we're a package deal. Yeah, we're a package deal. And then on signing day, we're not. We're just going to, I wish them the best. 5-star safety, some call him 4-star safety out of Ponchatoula. Incredible player. It's feeling Florida's still there. Florida's pushing hard, and you know Corey Raymond is of course a guy who got very familiar. I have people fact checking a lot of my commentary. Like I'm gonna put that up in just a second. I'm chuckling. But it does feel like LSU's the front runner for Jacoby Mathews, and that is why I kind of feel pretty good about Harold Perkins, because it's definitely a plus that they would go to the same place, but it would be a catastrophe if both went to Florida. That'd be very, very bad. Perk gives me Zach Evans vibes. And look, I've heard that. Like, we've talked to our guys at TexAgs, our sister site for Texas A&M, and they've said a lot of that same thing. So I don't know. He seemed like a good kid. Now, he posted, I mean, all over his Instagram, all over his Twitter, and he does this for every visit, but there was a lot of content of him, and he had a 20-minute live video. He had, them hitting what is the gritty? Oh man, what a old man moment I just hear. What is that called? The gritty? Yeah, he hit the gritty in the LSU locker room, y'all. Brian Kelly also hit the gritty in the LSU locker room. I gotta ask LeTerrence what he thought about that. It looked like the red carpet was rolled out, and what stood out to me was a clip of them in Tiger Stadium. The lights are on, and Frank Wilson is in their ears. This is where legends are made, man. Stood out to me. Let's see. So, I mean, look, overall, I do feel good and much better than I have in a long time about both Harold Perkins and Jacoby Mathews. In fact, there was a few weeks ago where Harold Perkins was saying on an interview that, the recruitment from LSU could be more. We'll see. The last one who would be a big get for LSU is TreVonte Citizen. He was formerly a commit with LSU. Now, if you'd asked me a couple weeks ago, I'd be leaning toward Auburn for him. I think LSU's made up a lot of ground. With him. I'm feeling pretty decent about him as well. He, of course, will be announcing at 11 a.m. He's between Miami, Auburn, and Florida. Shocker, Florida's there again, y'all. And it's going to be a tough battle, of course. I mean, I'm not saying we've been on the phones talking to a lot of people trying to get this. And Mike Scarborough will be continuing to hit the phones to get the best answer we have, but it's been fairly tight-lipped around him. But LSU definitely stands a chance. He visited LSU recently, and I'm told that changed things. It improved LSU's odds. So overall of the 6 names I'm watching, Danny Lewis, I feel pretty good about. Perkins, Mathews, feel decently well about considering the big names that they are, but those are your 2 least likely guys to get tomorrow. Caleb Douglas, I'm hearing great reports from. I would expect him to be a Tiger. TreVonte Citizen is, same book as Harold Perkins and Jacoby Mathews. Made up a lot of ground. I might say he's a little bit more likely to go to LSU, but Auburn is still there. Florida is still there. We'll see. And then, of course, Jaelyn Davis-Robinson. I have a pretty good feeling about them because check out Rick Kelly hitting the Google for me. I was just off the back of my hand speculating the distance. Dallas to Boston, 1,769 miles. Dallas to Billings, 1,346 miles. Dallas to Eugene, 1,510 miles. Dallas to BR, 414. That's exactly what I was getting at. It's like the geography and the brand and all that good stuff. I have trouble seeing that LSU doesn't get them. Overall, I think LSU will. It's just so unlikely that you go 6 for 6 in these situations. It really is. I would expect LSU to go 3 or 4 of 6 on these guys. Let me see. 1, 2. I kind of expect 3 of them. I'd be a little surprised if 3 didn't, but surprises happen. And the other 3, I'm about 50-50. So I'll go 4 or 5. 4 or 5 will commit. Well, I'll go 4.5 will commit. And that'll leave you with 2.5. Oh, you got to do my half math here. So 5. Yeah. That'll leave you with 2.5 spots for afterward, which is right where you want to be. I just don't see LSU going 6 for 6 there. Let's see here. Yeah, Esteban, there's no such thing as a package deal. Right, that's what I'm saying. So even when I hear it directly, I'm just like, okay, but are you really a package deal? And even when they are siblings, it just depends, man. It just depends. Mark Jett, LSU versus the field for Perkins makes 0 sense. Well, Mark, let me tell you what that means. What I mean is LSU might be the most likely. It'd be very close, though. But the field means, is LSU more likely than everybody else's chances combined? And I don't think LSU's more likely than everybody else combined. But I'd say even calling LSU the front runner might be a bit of an aggressive approach, but I personally like LSU's odds maybe slightly better than Florida, and then A&M still there. But I mean, are you going to tell me that LSU has a better chance than Texas A&M and Florida's chance, and a surprise school out of nowhere chance? I'm not. I wouldn't bet the field over LSU. Hope that makes sense for you. Let's see here. Jacoby Mathews, 5 confidence. Yeah, I mean, Jacoby Mathews. It's not a done deal yet, but Jacoby Mathews, you feel a little bit better about him. Let's see here. Oh, do I need to fact check myself on LSU's men's winning postseason success? 99-06. There's no way that LSU made the tournament 99-06. Am I crazy? LSU. I'm not looking this. Somebody fact check that for me. There's a Google warrior among us, I assure you. Someone tell me if that's true. Did LSU make the NCAA tournament from 99-06? Oh man, I'm not going to sit here and research that on the LSU Football Fix on site. Hey, Eve, that's preposterous. Preposterous for me to do it, but one of you can do it. 39-16. Oh, ooh, man. Mark Cumbie, thanks for the score updates. Man, that's getting out of hand. Oh, well, maybe people decide to move on to signing day here and hear from us and hear from Laterrance. So that's kind of my breakdown on the 6 guys. A lot of up in the airs, but really there's not one of them where LSU doesn't have a very real chance in. There's not like a courtesy hat on the table for any one of those guys. We'll see. Well, there'll be lots of updates coming. This story will change. TigerBait.com. Mike Scarborough's working on his war room on his brand new laptop right now. We'll have text alerts throughout the day tomorrow. Plenty of good content to come. It's one of the best days of the year to subscribe. Only costs $1 to give it a try. I want to thank Tramonte's Meat and Seafood for being the title sponsor of our show throughout this season and hopefully on the next. They still have their Heaven's Door single barrel staff select bourbon whiskey available. This is very good, very smooth stuff. It will impress the bourbon lover in your life if you're looking to get a good gift or just have something around. Very smooth, very rich in flavor. The staff, of course, selected it themselves. We're gonna play Tramonte's commercial here, and then we're gonna hop right on in to talking to LeTerrence Welsh, and we'll get him all set up, and we'll hear from him.
Tramonte's has meat. Tramonte's has seafood. Tramonte's has much more. Tailgating and homegating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tramontes.com.
And thank you, Tramonte's Meat and Seafood, for making tonight's episode of the LSU Football Fix possible. We continue our National Signing Day preview with one of the faces of LSU's 2022 recruiting class. He's become a very vocal leader and one of the lead recruiters in this class. Welcome Acadiana High's 4-star cornerback, LeTerrence Welsh. LeTerrence, how's it going, man?
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Good, man. And I'm really glad to have you on here, man. You've been extremely vocal, and I remember I talked to you maybe a year or two ago, and you grew up a huge LSU fan. When did you feel you needed to become a bit more vocal and active recruiter of this class? Was it day one when you were committed, or did you just recognize after a while you had to, you really wanted to do it? Because you're all over the place on Twitter, hitting guys up, and you and Jordan Allen kind of do that. When did you realize you had to be that leader for this class?
I've been realized I had been a leader ever since I signed, and way before that, just because I want to win the national championship. So in order for me to win the national championship, I need guys that's willing to fight and willing to be a part of this squad to just basically do what we got to do.
So this weekend there was a big recruiting visit there, and you were there. Jordan Allen was there, and some prospective LSU recruits were there that they put you and Jordan on pretty closely. Were you there? How long were you on LSU's campus for? Was it a full 2 days you were there?
Yeah, I was there since Friday to Sunday.
Friday to Sunday. So we're talking 2.5 days. So what was going on? Like, how did things start? Like, what did y'all do throughout the course of Friday to Sunday?
To me, it really was no recruiting going on. Like, I want those guys, but that's like family. Jacoby, Harold, there's some guys I've been to. So basically, I really just went out there to enjoy the weekend, and really no recruiting. Not like I wasn't bugging them about like LSU, none of that. Like we're just having fun. Went to Topgolf and stuff like that. Went out to eat and we're just having fun the whole weekend.
So Friday night, y'all got in and just kind of met at the. What'd y'all do Friday night when y'all first got there?
We went to Topgolf.
Yeah, and I bet you that was a lot of fun. Who's the best golfer of the group?
Jacoby.
Oh yeah. So Saturday, what goes down Saturday morning? Do y'all go visit with coaches and whatnot?
Just tour the campus and stuff like that.
Yeah. And then Sunday, was it Sunday night y'all went to Death Valley?
Oh yeah, a little Saturday night.
Mm-hmm. And I guess y'all did the little photo op where everybody was dancing around, hitting the gritty. That must have been just before that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how involved was Brian Kelly with that entire weekend? Did you see him all 3 days, or how much time did y'all get to spend with Brian Kelly?
You really see Brian Kelly a lot. Basically, he's a real family-oriented guy, and he was just around a lot. And that's what I like about him.
So you got to see him a lot. That's good to hear. Let me ask you, did you get to see him hit the gritty?
Oh, yeah.
How would you rate his gritty?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Now, so there was another prospect who visited a little before y'all, Danny Lewis. And of course, he had a viral video with Brian Kelly. Did you get to bump into Danny at all, or was he gone by the time y'all got there?
No, I've been knowing Danny. I've been knowing Danny for some years now. So basically, me and him text a lot. I played 7-on-7 with him, and he lives around this area.
Yeah. So, but you didn't bump into him this weekend, though. He was gone by the time y'all all got there.
But yeah.
What'd you think about that Brian Kelly video with 8.5 million views that Danny tweeted out? It's pretty wild, huh?
Yeah, it's too wild.
So when you see the videos that he's getting, some people are poking a little bit of fun at. I mean, as a recruit, do you really care at all, or are you just like, hey, that's my coach? What's your thoughts when you see that kind of stuff?
Like you say, hey, that's my coach. He just doing what he got to do. Just having fun with those guys while he recruiting. Fun guy.
Is it abnormal for him to be a little goofy like that around y'all, to cut up a little bit, or is he more of a strict?
I wasn't expecting that. I thought he'd be kind of strict when he first got the job and stuff like that. But since I met him, he's been a cool guy.
So you mentioned not really pushing and recruiting Harold and Jacoby very hard. But what were you spending time with them? Y'all were just hanging out? What were y'all doing together this weekend? What were y'all talking about? That kind of stuff.
Really hanging out, just talking about what we're gonna do when we get to college and stuff like that. Talking about our future goals. Just really chilling, having fun.
And of those guys, have they given you any insight about what they're thinking about with their decision, or have they told you where they're going, anything like that?
No, not at all. I just told them wherever they go, respect. If they come to LSU, I'm respect it. If they go to Florida, I'm respect it. No love lost, but I would love them have them at LSU.
There's been some scuttlebutt that Jacoby and Harold maybe want to go to the same college together. Did you get that impression, or have they told you that?
No.
Gotcha. So all these guys you mentioned here, Danny, Harold, Jacoby, all these guys are going to announce their decision tomorrow. You have a gut feeling where they might go?
I hope they come to LSU. That's all I can say.
Hope they come to LSU. Well, LeTerrence, I really appreciate your time. It's been great having you as an LSU Tiger. We're all very excited to see you dress up for the purple and gold this coming fall. Where can people follow you? Like, do you prefer people follow you Twitter, Instagram? Especially with NIL brand becoming so big, where can LSU fans support you at?
They can support me on my Instagram. That's what I'm mainly at. LeTerrance W11, LaTerrance W11.
Gotcha. And what about your Twitter?
On my Twitter, LeTerrance W2022.
All right. Well, y'all go give LeTerrance a follow. He would appreciate your support. Appreciate you for taking some time with us tonight, LeTerrance.
No doubt. Thank you.
And that has been LeTerrence Welsh. I'm going to cut to Tramonte's real quick. I'm going to break that down and take a few more of your comments as we close out the show here in not a few minutes, but few minutes after that, we'll go for 10-20 minutes, something like that. But we'll continue our National Signing Day breakdown in just a bit. But first, let's hear from Tramonte's Meat and Seafood.
Tramonte's has meat. Tramonte's has seafood. Tramonte's has much more. Tailgating and homegating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tramontes.com.
Mike muted, and thank you for everything you do, Tramonte's, to make your LSU football fix possible. And guys, I see a lot of people talking about the crystal ball picks, and I get it. And a lot of the guys, and of course I've seen them, and guys that I respect, by the way, picking them to LSU, and there's new sites, old sites, with different projections, crystal balling to LSU for Harold Perkins and Jacoby Mathews. And if I had to submit my own crystal ball on the guys that I just named, I'd crystal ball all 6 of them to LSU. Here's my problem with that. It's just so unlikely that any school goes 6 for 6 on any set of recruits. I can't really think of an occasion where we had a short list of guys and LSU hit on every gosh darn one of them. In fact, like I said, if I'm putting the Vegas spread, it's 4.5 guys. I think LSU will sign 4 or 5. We'll have to see. But I quite frankly, I went down the list and I told you I'd consider LSU the front runner. But there's at least, I know 3 of those guys where I'm not saying it's more likely that LSU versus all other schools combined. That's Citizen, Perkins, and Mathews. I'm not there personally. Now, yeah. So I hope that makes sense to you on my level of confidence. I don't want to assign a number or anything like that. But I mean, if LSU does go 6 for 6 on not one of those guys, would I be individually surprised about? However, I would be surprised that I'd be surprised that there was no surprise. That's the point. I've just been watching and covering recruiting long enough to see how these things go. Let's see here. What is a number of signings that tells us something good with Brian Kelly is real good or troubling? All right, that's a good comment, Baller Girl. So LSU has 7 spots open. There's currently 25 transfers and commitments. Freshman commitments in this class. If you don't get 32 guys among the transfer portal and the recruiting class, that's pretty troubling. Now, if you're asking about tomorrow, I'd be concerned if you get less than 3. A little concerned about the recruiting prowess and whatnot. But even so let's say you get 2. I'd want the background. And look, if Jacoby Mathews and Harold Perkins and TreVonte Citizen pick another team to go to, those are all really highly recruited and highly sought after guys. And it is tougher for a new staff to recruit on guys. We'd have to see. I'd want to hear the background before doing that. Now, I mean, and if you miss on all those guys and you miss on Danny Lewis, I mean, at a certain point, you're expected to go get your LSU. You're expected to go beat out quality SEC schools for these guys. Especially with 2 in-state kids, you should be. So if LSU were to only end up with 2 players, especially if those 2 players aren't one of the really big names out there right now, like a Harold Perkins, like a Jacoby Mathews, that would have me a little concerned. That's a good question, Baller Girl. Very good question. If y'all have any other questions, let me know. I'll try to hit it up before we hit out of here. By the way, I want to call John Marion out. I didn't say they made the tournament consecutive from 99 to 06. I'm clarifying that they had sustained success. Well, John, I said they had 4 tournament caliber seasons in a row if you include this season. We'll count 2022 because, I mean, come on. They were going to make the tournament that year. That's what I'm saying. I've never seen that level of sustained success in 4 consecutive seasons. There's my fact check, John Mary. Hey, John, I'm just playing with you. Appreciate you for being a part of the show as consistently as you are, man. You're always great with your insight and commentary. Let's see here. Any decent comments on Rick Kelly is the LSU football fix fact checker. Thank you, Rick. Let's see here. I'm trying to see if there's anything I missed before I go on. I hate leaving guys out if I can. All right. Dumb question. Look, man. These shows are fueled by dumb questions. I probably don't have a job if there's no dumb question. No such thing as a dumb question, they might say. If any of our players decide to enter the transfer portal during spring/summer, can you replace them or do we lose that spot? So the NCAA gave you +7. So the reason why I keep on saying 32 is because as long as 7 players leave your program, you can replace them with 7 more. So that's where you make those up at. But LSU, of course, has already had 7 leave. Let's see here. Oh man, some wild comments. Oh man. Someone's wanting to know. Pops is in the comment acting if this is the asking if this is the last show. We're so currently with sponsors. I've got one of them on board. I think we'll do at least shows through the end of the month. We're working things out. I think we're going to try to do, for the first time, we're going to do this show year round, talking LSU football year round. We'll cover recruiting, spring game, preview positions, that kind of stuff year round. Of course, interesting guests. We're trying to make that happen. I think we've got a good shot at making that happen, but I don't want to commit on that quite yet. So to recap the players who we're going to keep an eye out. I'm going to go rapid fire real quick. If you have any questions, get them out now because we're going to hop off in just a bit. Danny Lewis, tight end out of Westgate. He visited Bama. Father didn't show to that. I'm not sure if that's a big deal. I don't know how much I read into that, but it is of note because he's been pretty involved in his process. He just visited LSU this week, had the viral, 9 million views on the Brian Kelly video with him. Everybody makes fun of Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly makes fun of them because he got 9 million views and they didn't. He'll be deciding at 1 p.m. I feel pretty good about that one. Pretty good. Harold Perkins. That's your biggest name on the board tomorrow. If I had to pick one school, LSU, but there's a lot out there and Florida's pushing hard. And I think a week or two ago, Florida probably was the favorite. I'm kind of hearing LSU's the favorite, but that's not done. We will see. I don't have a ton of confidence, but I would probably say LSU's your front runner. Jacoby Mathews, same ordeal, probably a step higher in confidence for Jacoby Mathews than Harold Perkins. And the fact that I feel more confident about Jacoby Mathews coming to LSU makes me slightly, that's kind of why I think Harold Perkins is a slight lean to LSU over Florida and A&M, because I feel like if all things being equal, they would prefer to play together. They do like each other. Caleb Douglas, 3-star wide receiver. He'll be deciding between Florida and LSU. I feel pretty good. All my reports are telling me that LSU's in a really good position with Caleb Douglas. TreVonte Citizen, former LSU commit. He decommitted a couple months ago with the coaching change and all that good stuff. LSU's been in on him real hard. He took a visit to LSU recently, and I heard that that's kind of changing things. And I'm hearing good things, but hey, make no mistake, Auburn still there, and so is Florida, and then Miami's even still there too. So you're recruiting against a lot of good recruiters there. We'll have to see and wait on that one. And then Jaelyn Davis-Robinson, 4-star cornerback out of Texas. Man, I just don't see a way where LSU doesn't beat out Oregon, Boston College, and Wyoming for this guy. I think LSU takes care of business. Let's see here. James Soleil, 45-32 Ole Miss. Okay, well, I look, man, at least 13 points is respectable, and you can do something to come back. Daniel Glenn, if any Michigan commits can be flipped because of Harbaugh possibly leaving, Kelly is in a good spot to make a late play, plus possibly recruited many of them at Notre Dame. Daniel, I hear what you're saying, but I haven't heard of anything of that sort yet. Maybe there's a kid who stretches past signing day. I wouldn't expect that tomorrow. I don't have anything of that nature on my radar currently. Those I've kind of given you the breakdown of who to watch out for. Of course, if you want more of these details, y'all hop on over to TigerBait.com. We'll be doing text alerts throughout the day tomorrow. It would cost you $1 to give it a try. So even if you want to, just do it for the signing day, $1, sign up, get you in the fold, get you tons of premium good content. And we'll get you going. It'll be a wild day tomorrow to keep an eye out for. So y'all give that a try. Appreciate y'all for watching the show tonight. If you don't mind, please, drop a like on the show, hit share to whatever your preferred social media platform is. I would greatly appreciate your support here at the LSU Football Fix. Y'all have a wonderful night.